What's up guys, Matt Monas here. And if you missed the big Google event today, don't worry, I have you covered. A bunch of new devices were announced. 2 Nexus devices, 2 Chromecast devices, and even a Pixel convertible tablet. But let's start off with the Nexus devices. And the first one is made by Huawei. It's going to be 5.7 inches, have a WQHD AMOLED display that takes up 74% of the device. Now basically what this means is that it's going to have really thin bezels. Google is saying it's going to be the exact same size as the iPhone 6s Plus. Now on the display there will also be 2 stereo speakers, so I'm expecting some really good sound coming out of this. Inside the 6P, it's going to be using the Snapdragon 810 processor, and it's going to have 3 gigabytes of RAM. Now, Google is no longer going to be using a micro USB port, and they're now switching over to the new standard, which is USB Type-C. The Huawei will also come with a 3450 milliamp battery, and the good news is, unlike the OnePlus 2, which also has USB Type-C, the Huawei will support quick charging. The camera on the back will be 12.3 megapixels and will use a Sony sensor, and according to Google, will take much better pictures than the iPhone 6s Plus. It will also have laser autofocus, slow motion video, and a double tap feature that takes you directly into the camera. The Nexus 6P will start at $499 US for the 32 gigabyte storage option. Now the good news is, for all of those people who miss the good old days of cheaper Nexus devices, Google is going to be selling a cheaper model made by LG called the Nexus 5X. Now it's going to be made out of plastic, have a fingerprint scanner, a 1080p display, which is going to be about 5.2 inches, and will also use the new USB Type-C standard. The camera will also have a 12.3 megapixel camera and will probably use the same Sony sensor as the Huawei 6P. Now inside the 5X, instead of a Snapdragon 810 processor, which is in the 6P, it's going to be using a Snapdragon 808, which is the exact same processor that's inside the LG G4. Now the biggest difference is that the LG G4 comes with 3 gigabytes of RAM, and the Nexus 5X will only come with 2. And just like the 6P, it will also support quick charging but have a smaller 2700 milliamp battery. The 16 gigabyte Nexus 5X made by LG will start at $379 US. Now I just want to mention a few more things. Both of these phones will come with a 90-day subscription to Google Play Music, and it'll also come with a $50 Google Play Store credit. So it's a little bonus and a little bit more of incentive to buy a Nexus device. Now there's also a new program called Nexus Protect, which will offer a 2-year protection on your device, kind of similar to Apple Care. So that's something to take into consideration if you want to protect your smartphone. Google also talked about a few more cool things. They showcased a little bit of Android 6.0 Marshmallow, which will obviously be coming pre-installed on the new Nexus devices. They can do a bunch of cool things like use the new Google Now, which recognizes context. The app drawer now has a scrolling effect, and notifications work and look a lot better. Now they also talked about a new Google photo sharing feature, which lets you share your photos with other people and notifies you if they made any changes to those photos or uploaded any of their own. But the other 2 hardware devices that they talked about, which were really important, were Chromecasts, and there happen to be 2 of them. The first one is going to replace the original Chromecast. It will cost the same price of $35 US or $45 here in Canada, and it's going to bring a lot of content to it, such as Showtime, the NBA, the NHL, and even Sling TV. There's also a lot of under-the-hood hardware improvements, such as the support for 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. It's going to be circular. It's going to have an adaptive antenna, be able to prefetch content, and have a multiplayer mode if you have a buddy over and you want to play a game against each other. And the other Chromecast is meant for audio. So basically what happens is you plug it into any speaker you have in your household, and it'll convert that speaker kind of into a Bluetooth speaker. And the way it works is your phone uses Wi-Fi to communicate with it and pushes the music over Wi-Fi to that device that's connected to the speaker. So it's a really great way to revive a lot of old speakers that you have around the house, or if you go somewhere and you don't have a Bluetooth speaker on you and you have your Chromecast audio device on you, you can always keep the music flowing. So what do you guys think of the Google announcements? I'm pretty excited about these Nexus devices. Now people have an option to either choose a cheaper one or the more expensive one. Last year was a little bit of a disaster. People were disappointed that they couldn't buy a cheaper Nexus device. At least this year you have the option. I've already placed my pre-order for the Huawei 6P here in Canada. The LG Nexus 5X is not available yet, but once it is, I'll definitely get my hands on it as well and review it. Now, if you live in the States, in Japan, in Ireland, and a few other countries, you can order order any of those devices right now, and it'll take about 3 to 4 weeks to get delivered. I want to know what you guys think of the announcements today in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this quick recap of the Google event. If you enjoyed it, smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching.